from a passive, let's say, unimportant parish where the people were doing nothing but picking grapes and the tobacco leaves for generations. This has become one of the spiritual centers of the world.
I can see something holy here, this is a holy place because it's bringing so many people and bringing people to do what? To pray, and when we are praying together, something miraculous, is here, miracles, are happening.
It was 1981 and these 6 youngsters, these visionaries, said the Virgin Mary appeared to them on the hill above Medjugorje. And even now, all these years later, these apparitions happen every day.
There's a place in Europe where Our Lady's appearing every day, and it's a small town in the middle of nowhere, but it's just, you feel like you're in heaven, in a small piece of heaven.
My name's Terry Diaz. I'm a mother of 5. I'm a grandmother of 10. I have been in the film industry for many, many years, acting, directing, a lot to do with musical theatre. Well, I was brought up a Catholic. My mother was very strict Catholic. I've often said to people, actually, one of the best things about believing in God, and that is all the friends you've got. I mean, there's always, as I said, there's always someone to talk to. I mean, they've got all these special saints. I mean, you've got St. Anthony, who finds things for you when you lose them, and oh my goodness, he does. He's very good at car keys. Of course, our Blessed Mother, who we're going to see in Medjugorje, she has been my best friend for years and years and years. And I just talk to her like I would a best friend. And I cannot think of any time where I actually doubted. I mean, of course you question yourself at things about, some things that people do question you about, and you think, how do you explain that? But then I answer myself and think, well, that's what the word faith means. It means that we believe in something we actually don't totally fully understand. Otherwise it would be called certainty.
I'm Nicolette Kenny. I'm a personal trainer, actress and singer. I was raised as a Catholic, and I lapsed as a Catholic, I guess, in my teenage years. I sort of was a non-practicing Catholic for a long time, but as I got older and older, I'm not very religious at all. Yep. Spirituality to me is just trying to be a good person, trying to be the best person you can be with what you've got. And you find happiness. And when you find happiness, you're more of a loving person and you share that around. And I think that's what it's all about. Did you like it? My mum, Terry, is very religious, and she's been to Medjugorje a few times.
One day I said to somebody, I'm going to go back to Lourdes. And they said, oh, instead of going back there, why don't you go to Medjugorje? Now, I had never heard of Medjugorje. And I said, why, what's at Medjugorje? And they said, you've got to be kidding. Medjugorje, Our Lady appears every day and is still doing it and has been for so many years. However, I was a little bit sceptical about it, not about that Our Lady was appearing there, I never doubted that. What I was doubting was the fact that so many people say they've seen all these wonderful things themselves in Medjugorje, as in the sun spinning and dancing around in the sky. My attitude to that was, well, you can see anything you want to if you really want to see it. So imagine how I felt when the very first day I was in Medjugorje, when I finally got there, it took me 5 years to get there, I saw the spinning sun. That was a real shock for me, and to me it was our Blessed Mother just going, don't be so sceptical.
She is so passionate about it. She wants to share it. She has invited me along a couple of times, and I haven't wanted to go.
She's been living in Australia since she was about 18, and so we haven't had a lot of close contact. She's even pulled away from the family a little bit, I felt, so it's lovely to have her drawing back into the family.
But then I just sort of realised it's something that means so much to her, and she'd like me to see it. She thinks I'm missing out, I guess.
I guess I'm hoping, if I'm honest, I'm hoping that she might get some sort of sign while she's over there, that maybe it'll just make her start thinking.
I guess I'm not buying it. You know, I don't sort of to hear the story and go, oh yeah, that's great, that's happening. I'm taking Scott along. He's my boyfriend, and he has this pretty similar viewpoint to me. Maybe even less so than me, because I have spiritual ideas and that sort of thing, and whereas I think with him it's just when you die, you die.
The average pilgrimage probably takes from anything from, well, I've been on a group of 14 is the last one I think, and a group of 28 is the biggest group that I've been with. It's all under Patricia's company, and she's our leader, and she organises everything for us. She makes sure we're all on the plane. She looks after us like we're children, really, which is lovely. That's why I like going, because I just don't have to worry about anything. Patricia has to worry about it all. I just follow along.
Just remember to watch the gate. Remember to watch the screen when you go through security. Just you've got a few hours. We're leaving at 10 past midnight.
It was Patricia that first told me about it. 8 years ago, I started saving, not with the intention of coming to Medjugorje at all, but every fortnight money went into a golden syrup tin in the pantry cupboard. So I don't know whether Our Lady worked through that on me or anything, but anyway, it was about beginning of this year I sort of got more and more interested in coming to Medjugorje. And then I opened up the golden syrup tin, and then Patricia came around one time and I had it all there, and she said, oh, you've got enough to go. And that sort of sealed it.
I've had a lot of problems in the past. If I came here, I would see the light maybe, or get closer to God, and it would help me. Well, this is the place where miracles happen, so it may happen to me.
I came here because I've heard so much about it, and I believe everything that's happened is true. You can't explain it. It's just inside you. It's just something different. I'm hoping that I will become a better Christian, that I will have understanding of more people around me, because I'm terribly judgmental.
When I first heard of Medjugorje 10, 15 years ago, just something trickling through about a new place where there was a visionary. And I was happy for them, but it was too far away for me to think about going to it myself. I didn't think for a while that I wanted to. It just came like that this year. And it's just out of the blue, it happened. So maybe somebody's telling me to come here.
I just sort of felt a oomph in my heart, and I thought, this is it. The funny thing was that I had drawn out some money to pay for my hearing aids, because my hearing is rather deficient. And so I was talking to the Lord about it and saying, how am I going to afford to pay for this? And I just felt within myself, use the money. So I did. And as soon as I'd posted off the cheque, I felt such a huge relief that I had to go and have a bowl of hot chips.
There's been proven events of healings, and I don't know if Mary did appear to these children, but what I do know is the passion. You feel it here so very strong, and you feel that something has. There's just, I don't know, no one can put their finger on it. You don't know what it is, but something has happened here. There's a lot of faith and a lot of holiness in this place.
I think coming here again, that is another retreat. It's another that have given their hearts to God, and you just see the joy in them.
There is something about this place that's very special, that isn't like anywhere else. I mean, we've done quite a bit of tourist travelling, and we enjoy going to
touristy spots, but there's nothing quite like this. You have to put up with the long trip from Split to here, but you do it because when you get here, you get something happens to you again and again and again that you don't get anywhere else.
It's a really exciting place to be because it's completely different to anything I imagined. It's crazy here. There's statues everywhere, rosaries, and there's souvenir shops everywhere selling everything to do with religion and Mary and rosaries, lots of rosaries. And just people flocking from all over the world come to see the place where Mary appears and talks to people. I'm loving talking to the other pilgrims. Again, they're lovely people. So I'm feeling a little bit still apprehensive about the fact that they are here on a pilgrimage, and this is a very important journey for them. Some of them have saved for a long time to be able to make it here. I feel kind of guilty about the fact that I don't really believe in all the stuff that they do. But the ones who are starting to get to know that I've come as a skeptic are okay with it. They're fine. They're very open about that, as I am about what they're doing.
Every time I'm driving into Medjugorje for the first time, I get this amazing feeling of homecoming. More so even when I go home to New Zealand when I've been away for a long time. I always love going home. But here it's a real homecoming, and it's all right, everything will be all right feeling. Also, I do a lot of thinking here. If we didn't have doubts, we wouldn't be human. And then you sit down and you think about it, especially at a place like this, and it all becomes very clear.
Ave Maria, piena di grazia, il Signore è con te. Tu sei benedetta fra le donne, e benedetto il frutto del tuo seno, Gesù.
It's rooted in our Christian culture. They're rooted in the Jewish culture, this sense of going to a place which is somehow marked out as holy, where God's presence in a very tangible way has been experienced. And this is a place where God's presence, through the intercession and presence of the Mother of God, is here. They come for different reasons, maybe searching for different things, expecting different things, looking for different things. What they encounter here, though, isn't a thing, it's a somebody, it's that presence of the Blessed Mother. And maybe people come out quite uncertain, even skeptical about what they may or may not experience. Step by step, people's hearts begin to open, and different things touch different people. There's a grace here that many people experience. There's a peace. It's almost tangible, and that begins to change you.
There's a 20-foot Christ. I can't explain it. It's just a tremendous feeling coming through you when you're kissing that cross, kissing the knee of Christ that is miraculously oozing a liquid. There was a tremendous surge and a great peace came over me, and I said, Christ, I'm sorry I've offended you in my life, and the tears started to roll out, and I had great difficulty getting anywhere, and Pat got hold of me. As I said, I went back just to check the feeling out again, and sure enough, just coming through the archway and seeing it, it happened then even.
For me, it's seeing so many people from all over the world being together celebrating the Holy Mass. We have Holy Mass in all the languages, and it's so powerful to see the faith of those people, that they are bringing everything to put it in the hands of our Blessed Virgin Mary.
The real one for me is the one in the evenings, what they call the International Mass, and there's 70,000 people there sometimes, and up on the altar there's sometimes up to 50, 70 priests. And then you hear everybody from all over the world, all different nationalities, all different tongues, all different looks, and they're all saying exactly the same prayer but in their own language. Because you think to yourself, they have to be listening, somebody has to be listening when we're all here doing this, we've come all this way, doing this, saying our prayers together in our own language, but praying for the same things. So that's a very emotional time. I don't get all weepy there, but I mean, I feel it in my heart. Yeah.
We, the guides, we would rather call it a calling other than a job as well, because once when you start to do this, and with God's help, you cannot quit.
Well, I just love Medjugorje. I came here for the first time in 2006. A friend recommended me to come, and Our Lady said that everybody who comes to Medjugorje is invited.
And I was expecting, a lot of old miserable old women crying and all sorts. And when I got here, I couldn't believe how happy the people were, how nice they were, everybody talking to you.
I just feel that if this faith that we have here, the Pilgrims of Medjugorje, could spread around the whole world, our world would be a peaceful world. And our job now is to take this message home with us and spread it to everyone we know.
It is hard to get across, and when you come back, you're so excited, and you try to tell everybody, and a lot of times they look at you like you have two heads.
People ask me over in England, what happened to you? Where do you go? I said, I don't know. This just changed my life completely.
But it changes your life so much that you feel different, and you want different things.
It is all about faith. It is all about faith, It's how much faith do you have in your heart. So if you have a strong faith that by coming here, something powerful is going to happen in your life, will happen.
David Parks was a professional footballer in Ireland, went to the healing mass. He wasn't believing in it. And, and he prayed over him. And he went down, they call it down in the spirit sort of thing. He said, all I remember is I collapsed on the floor, and he was out for quite a while, and when he came round, he was completely cured. And now he goes round He's there! Oh my God! He's just there!
Okay.
Let's talk to him.
Well,
Yeah!
Thank you, Wendy.
How amazing is that? See? The Lord works in mysterious ways.
Hi, how are you doing? Good, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, no wonder my ears were burning. Well, I came to Medjugorje not willingly. God was not part of my life for 8 years. I hadn't been inside a Catholic church. I did a very serious illness called Crohn's disease, and I suffered it for 14 years, and I had 10 major surgeries. So they gave me no time, 14 weeks after the surgery. So when I came to Medjugorje on a free ticket, I had 2 weeks to live.
I was sitting right beside Our Lady's altar, beside her statue, on a little flagstone. Everybody was getting up to go, all bye-byes and all. And this woman walked in, and she said, I'm sorry for disturbing you, but Our Lady asked me if I'd recite this prayer. And she started, I can't tell this without getting emotional. She started to recite this prayer, and I just blew out tears. I couldn't help it. She only started it. This was me to a T. This was me apologizing to God for the prick that I was. Whenever she'd finished it, she went off, and I ran after her to try and get it, the prayer. And our tour guide said, what's wrong, Jimmy? I said, I'm looking to get that prayer of that lady. Oh, she said, I've got it here for you. And that was the start of my life.
I didn't come looking for anything, so I wasn't expecting anything to happen. So when he laid hands, I rested in the Spirit. And when I got up, I was so embarrassed at having been on the ground and wondering how in God's name did I get down on the ground. So I wasn't asking myself any questions. But as the day went on, my wife said, listen, you're after eating such and such, and you're not going to the bathroom, or you're not complaining of vomiting. So this went on all day. So it was the following day by the time I realized something had really happened.
And she says she feels like something goes.
Like if it, como así.
Oh, oh no, she said that something,
Sí.
like
And I start
somebody's.
praying and estoy empezando rezo y
And then she starts
agradezco
crying,
y
says,
eso,
"Thank you."
eso me hace sentir su presencia.
And I think that is her presence on me.
sigo adelante,
Don't worry,
a
don't
pesar
worry,
de todo.
I'm here.
Crohn's disease, and it totally disappeared. So the medical people put it down to something out of this world.
If you don't believe it, go and see for yourself. I believe in it. It's changed my life completely. If you want to make the mick out of me and laugh and joke and mock me, fair dues, go ahead. But I said, I know where my peace is now.
Like I said, I'm not taking anything when I leave, so, but these feelings, they're mine. They're unique, and I don't know if other people have them, but I have that special warm, special feeling, like I'm home.
I don't know girls, but I felt it was a sacred place.
Oh yes,
and
you could
peaceful
feel it.
too.
Yes,
you feel the peace.
Yeah.
So there we are. We've done all right.
Well, I took a holiday youth, I brought a holiday youth here 2 years ago from our parish, 10 young ones, and they just loved adoration so much that when we went home, once a month on a Friday, we would do exactly that. I took the music home, the violin music and all that, and then I got all the different languages, from our parish, and we had eight different languages, and each time I would write little prayers like they had then,
Very cool.
and then they'd all do it in their own language, and then we'd put the violin music on. And other people started coming too. It wasn't just the youth, other people from the parish heard about it and they started coming in.
One of my biggest questions about this place was that Mary's been appearing to these people for years, and why wouldn't she come to somebody like me, show me a miracle so that I will believe just through her? And because I've got a lot of, friends on Facebook, I could bring a lot of people back to her.
A lot of people say, why me, why not me, or whatever. And that's my answer to that one, is that we all know we shouldn't have to be given a sign.
Right.
We should make up our own minds that this is what we want.
We look back over the centuries of the church and Mary's presence has been there. I mean, why? Well, very simply because she's the mother of the church. She's our mother. She was given to us by the Lord. And apparitions, they're not as if this is an unusual occurrence. We can think of the great apparitions of Guadalupe in Mexico in the 16th century. We can think of Fatima, of Lourdes, but there's many, many others. Why was she here? The visionaries asked her, well, why are you coming here? Something she said struck me, words to this effect: I have come to tell the world that God exists. And when we look at what's happening in our world today, the need for that affirmation of the presence and existence of God.
Our Lady gave to all visionaries 10 secrets. And all of them are the same. First 3 secrets are connected with Medjugorje. They will happen in Medjugorje. Everybody will see clearly that that is the place where Our Lady appeared. The third secret is the secret about the sign on the apparition hill. When that happens, that will be a great joy for all those of you who have been to Medjugorje. That will be a great sign of Our Lady's love for all of us. Mirjana, the visionary, has a task, along with a priest, to reveal those secrets. If he is chosen, then it should be during his lifetime. He's 67 now. Yes. But I'm planning on living 120. Okay. No.
Molim ti se blagoslovi hodočasnike.
Please, God, bless these pilgrims.
Imaš moć osloboditi nas od svega.
You have the power to free us from everything.
Neka te oni hvali i slavi.
Let them praise you and glorify you.
Neka u tebi imaju mir, sreću i radost.
Let them have in you the peace and joy. And thank you for loving them. Almighty
God, Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you.
God bless you. Jesus loves you.
You're always going to have skeptics. That is part of our nature. Well, supposing I wasn't a Catholic, supposing I hadn't come here and then I'm watching all this on TV, I might be drawn into it and say, oh, I must find this out. But I think there would be big Yeah, right, go on.
As the world's becoming increasingly secular, we've become more affluent, and certainly in Europe, in Western Europe, in England, where I'm from, we've lost touch with our Christian roots, really. And for a long time, there's been a sort of a prevailing idea that we have to prove everything before we can accept it to be true. Medjugorje is really a direct challenge to needing proof, because it's a place of faith, really. It's a place where people come with an open heart and they have incredible experiences. Not just the miraculous, which some people, do come to look for and see, but the ordinary sort of faithful lives of the people who we meet here.
We are now actually in the birthhouse of Vicka the Visionary. This is where she and her brothers and sisters, and of course her parents, live. And later on, after we leave from this room, we will come to the room where Vicka for so many years had the apparitions. That room was left intact. You can freely stay there a few moments, say your prayers. There are sometimes people even bringing here their intentions, written intentions, and leaving them there on the little wardrobe. There are 2 statues over there of Jesus and Mary and baby Jesus as well. It is actually the place where Vicka, before getting married, where she had every single day the apparitions, like she has even now.
Praise the Lord is thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. We are very, very fortunate to be here in Vicka, one of the visionaries that is still having apparitions every day. She hasn't spoken publicly for many years because she's been very ill, and this is the first time she's speaking publicly back here. She has just come back from the Holy Land, so it's very exciting. She's one I've never seen. I've seen most of the visionaries, but I've never seen Vicka, so I'm very excited this morning, as are the whole group. And we've come out with hundreds of other people, busloads again.
The message is for all, whether they believe it or not. But Our Lady says that God has given a free will to a human being. We didn't say to anyone, you have to believe or you must believe, but we leave that to each person. There are no difficult parts in being a visionary. So the one thing that what she does for the love for God. She's conducting the will of God. She's serving as as she said, a small instrument of Our Lady. So there are no difficult parts. Vicka says that if there were just 3 times as more people this morning, she wouldn't have felt the fatigue or anything like that. When you take this, Vicka says, as something that is God's love, there are no difficult parts.
Questo applauso per la Madonna. Ecco, vado prima vi saluto tutti.
Well, this applauding is for Our Lady. First of all, I would like to greet all of you.
Vado ai messaggi principali, e sono preghiera.
Well, Our Lady's main messages are prayer,
e pace,
peace,
conversione,
conversion,
confessione,
confession,
digiuno,
and fasting.
Vicka says that Our Lady gives messages simple as this because she just wants to show that something that we already know, that we have distanced ourselves from it.
Her speech to us yesterday was wonderful, and I'll tell you something, people were waving to her, and that was good, but around me they'd stopped, so I gave her a wave and she waved back to me, and I'm telling you, a little blessing and a smile, I saw that. So who am I to complain about the conditions of Medjugorje when I've got that coming at me?
It was very enjoyable at first because she's a lovely lady, lovely personality, full of joy. And I enjoyed listening to her speak, although it was again just the same stuff I've already heard.
There are too many people on this earth who think once when you die here, that's it, there's nothing more. Our Lady says we are just the passengers here. Life goes on after death.
Each one of the visionaries have a special job. Like Ivan is for the youth, that's his mission. Hers is for the sick. She has taken on a lot of illness herself, that's why she's very thin, and she has been so sick in the last few years.
Now we'll spend some time in silence. Vitska will pray for all of us, but it's also very important to stay in silence. And Vitska says, in the first place, I will pray for all those who are sick.
You're sitting there and you're just listening to her prayers. The funny thing was I couldn't even go into prayer myself. I was just so looking at her and watching her and seeing the pain in her face. Even from way back there, I could see the pain in her face while she was praying for other people, probably feeling their pain.
Yeah, the first part, I really enjoyed the first part of it. Then she prayed over everyone, and I looked around me and I just saw neediness and desperation and sadness in all these people, and so much hope for this one lady because of her connection. And it made me feel sad.
I just felt myself just everything lighten up. I've had a couple of bad nights with not feeling well, especially at Mass last night. I was feeling very ill, very off colour. And it just did happen quite suddenly. It wasn't just oh, I feel fine. It wasn't like that. It was just, you feel your whole body just lighten a little bit. I was sitting and it wasn't a big thing, but I felt it.
It just got worse from there because there was some hysteria and screaming, which I just at first thought was people who'd brought their sick relatives or children. There was some screaming and it was very distressing. All these people, I think, have come to get her to pray for, or to pray for their sick, beloved people. I still think they're deluded. It just makes me sad that people are pinning so much hope on this connection and not really doing other things, taking their own actions, like just accepting or feeling better or making things better themselves with their health and that sort of thing.
We just not admire them even, we just think they're so lucky more than anything, you know, and we do admire them because I think they've handled it very well. Yeah. Because it must be a hard life for them, as people have pointed out. But they do it because they love doing it, you know, for Our Lady, spreading the message. I guess all of us Catholics wish really we could be like them, as people do about rock stars and that sort of thing.
Yeah, they are. They're the rock stars of the Catholic world for sure. Look, I just really think they saw something, they believed that it was what it was, and they've continued to see it and continue to believe it. And a lot of people come here because of their faith. It's a beautiful place for them to come, and it's like,
it would be much easier for me to go to Queenstown, which is an even more beautiful place for my faith, you know, than to travel halfway across the world.
Can you take me with you? I love that place. We can go bungee jumping.
Yeah, we'd have to go to Mass first.
We have arrived here to the base of the Cross Mountain, or the Mount Krzyżowiec if you want. The cross on the top of the hill is actually built long before Our Lady started appearing here in Medjugorje. It was built for the occasion of the Grand Jubileum in the year 1933. The local people, together with pilgrims, started this tradition of going up the Cross Mountain and praying the way of the cross. It has been a tradition through the centuries to meditate on the way of the cross so that it becomes our way of life.
People had said that it was, you know, tough, but I had no idea that it was going to be like that. And that was daunting. When I saw those rocks up there, I really didn't know how I was going to go.
Courage. There is a purpose for this. As he stumbled on, I knew he was right, so I followed and prayed silently. Lord Jesus, forgive me the many times our eyes met and I turned mine away. Forgive me the times things did not go my way and I let everybody know about it. Forgive me the times I brooded over little inconveniences or become discouraged. and did not heed your call to courage. They're a nice bunch of people. They're all good, every one of them. And I love that Nikki could read a part of the way of the cross.
Sure, of course.
This fall of Jesus was agony to me. Not only had he fallen on the rocky ground again, but now he was almost at the top of the hill of crucifixion. So I climbed the hill silently behind him. My loving Jesus, I know that many times I have offered my hand to help people, but when it became inconvenient or painful to me, I left them, making excuses for myself. Help me, Lord, to be like your Mother Mary and never take my supporting hand away from those who need it.
Our Father who art in heaven.
That was an experience, and I think she was beautiful for that.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
One down.
Did you hit your head?
Need a drink.
Sit down, sit down.
Yeah. Don't worry, Helen. Jesus fell 3 times, you only fell once.
Thank you. I've got a pastel in my bag, actually. I'll have a mouthful of drink, please.
We're ready to continue. Well, actually, to encourage you, we have passed the worst part. Now, the rest is very easy. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, it is. I'm not kidding.
My Saviour, thank you. Thank you for such endless love that helps me rise out of my own sinfulness. I will try again to live a better life. Help me to always remember that love. Mary, Mother of our risen Saviour, teach me to be like you, and my love for others. Love him in return.
This place is a place where the people, as we have done, pray the way of the cross. As we have arrived to the end of the way of the cross, we are standing in front of this cross, the Jubilean cross, the very important site for all the people in Medjugorje, and one of the important sites also what concerns the pilgrims here in Medjugorje.
Breathtaking. Absolutely breathtaking. It's so fantastic. I can't believe it. It's exhilarating. I think I'm in heaven.
Medjugorje uplifts me. I don't know when and how, but I always have a good feeling. Whether it's right now, I'm still a bit exhausted, but yeah, I've got that feeling of accomplishment. Yeah.
So how do you feel now that you've made it up here?
Mixed.
Mixed emotions, mixed feelings? Like, oh, very emotional time? Well, you came up here pretty easily, so you're meant to be here.
Well, it wasn't until I got to the top, because I was sort of all the way up there, I was concentrating on just getting there. Yeah. But it's when you get to the top and it's all quiet and peaceful and you've got your thoughts. Yeah.
Were you just thinking about people and...
family?
Yeah. Well, you just keep being strong, still keep loving her, and, you know, one day just keep praying that it'll change.
Many people come to Medjugorje and they have lovely things happen to them, and they're all different. Our big blessing when we come here is to see the dancing sun, and every time we look at 6:40, every night we're here, we see it. And we regard it as a great gift from Our Lady.
Oh, look at that! My gosh!
It's really spinning.
Woo! Beautiful!
Oh, and look at the rose pink hue around it.
Wow! Pink? Yes. And then the blue, and they're really outside.
And now I can see a
Who ever heard of a dancing sun, please? Who ever heard of all the colours, and how could you look at the sunshine? Really, it's supposed to be impossible. It's too dangerous for your eyesight.
Lots of people don't see it, but many people in Medjugorje see it, because you'll see them down at Adoration, the Rosary, and at 6:40 you'll see the whole hundreds of people just turn around and look up into the sky at the setting sun, and that's what they're looking at.
I've never seen anything like this ever.
No. And of course it doesn't blind you. If you were looking at the sun for 5 minutes like this, anywhere else in the world, you'd be blind by the time you stopped looking at it.
But we did it. I did it. I actually looked at the sunshine and what was coming out of it were the colours. Crystal clear and vibrant.
You can see so many different things, different times.
Look at that lines.
It's progressing towards the centre.
They're going to the centre.
That's right.
It could have been Mary, it could have been Jesus, but whatever it was a beautiful feeling.
You've got no idea. If we ever talk about the dancing sun, people look at us and think, oh my God, it's time Kevin and Jane went off to us. A home for idiots.
Beautiful sunset, just setting like it does every day. I didn't see anything special, but it's pretty sunset. I'm seeing a lot of hope and expectation, but I'm not seeing any rapture on anyone's face. I'm sorry, I'll try again tomorrow. There are times when some of the people talk about miracles or things that have happened here or on their way here, and I think, come on, you know? It's pink around the outside with blue. It appears to be spinning and it's pulsating.
And it's normal.
No, it's still...
I don't think I was imagining it, and I certainly wasn't trying to see it. So that's the point. I wasn't trying to see it.
Wow.
And then I said to Nick, can you see this? And I didn't think she would say yes, because I was imagining it or something. Because, I mean, I've been trying to look for it. You know, I was looking the other day, I didn't see it. And then Nick said to me,
yep,
she could see it.
I can see it too. I wasn't expecting to see anything again as usual, but I saw it. I saw what everyone was talking about.
So within the corona, it was spinning like a coin, like a really bright coin, pulsating.
And it was pink and blue all around it, and it was like a white circle around the actual sun.
One spinning sun does not make a conversion, but, you know, I want to find out a bit more about why that happened.
Well, I now believe you all that you saw the sun doing that, because I saw it today.
Yeah, but it's got to be subjective, because Grant's filmed it, and there's nothing, he didn't see anything.
No.
Well, how's the difference between my eye seeing it and the lens looking at it? It's still, if it's actually occurring, physically occurring in the sun itself, right? If it's
there's your answer right there. It's actually not occurring
No,
physically in the sun.
No.
It's because only you are meant to see it, or only you are meant to see it, or whoever saw it tonight, only those people are meant to see it.
Then it's not a verifiable scientific phenomenon, is it? If I'm just seeing it.
It's not meant to be a scientific phenomenon. It's a miracle.
It's not a miracle. It's a trick of the light. I saw something with my eyes, but it is not on that camera.
So?
Because it's a man-made invention, and it's not the sun made by God.
Okay. I'm not going to win that.
I can't argue with that. I'm telling you now.
I like that one.
Yeah. This is the fourth time I have come to Medjugorje in successive years. I've never had the nerve to try and get up Apparition Hill. It's smaller than Cross Mountain, but just as difficult. There's a statue of the Virgin Mary at the top to commemorate the place where the first apparition of Our Lady happened with the young visionaries.
We are now standing in front of the first joyful mystery, the Annunciation, and these plaques represent mysteries of the Rosary, and there's altogether 15 of them on the hill. So what we will do this morning is we will do just the 5 joyful ones, from where, after we finish the joyful mysteries, we will visit the spot where the Blessed Mother appeared.
This walk is very, very hard. It's rocky. It's really, really rugged. I thought of it as the Hillary steps of Mount Everest, crowded with people, queues everywhere, and really rugged, really hard. You really have to watch your steps.
I have a back injury and a leg injury, and I'm disabled. I don't look it all the time, but I actually am in pain, and I get the paralysis that happens in the spine if I walk too far or stand too far along or anything. This time I am lucky enough to have Nikki with me, and she said, "You are going up that hill." I said, "No, I'm not. Not even going to attempt it. Not even going to attempt it."
Just going for a long walk is hard for her. So she's never thought she was going to make it up there. All right, it's a big step. Oh, you're good, you're good. Get positive.
I shall lead off with my other knee all the time.
Yes, yes. Whenever you have to put your body weight on a knee, choose the good knee.
Yeah, but that is the good knee.
Choose which knee you'd like.
Yeah.
Here.
We must be nearly there, surely.
Yep, we're doing good. Remember, you're just thinking about this particular journey, not the whole thing.
The next plaque.
This plaque, yeah, we're nearly at the next plaque. We're at the next plaque, I can see it's right there.
And there was a big cross, dark cross behind Our Lady.
Just wait a minute.
And this is the place where Our Lady gave the first message. And the first message ever given in Medjugorje was peace, peace, peace. Peace must reign among God and men, and among men themselves.
She got her taxi driver friend and myself helping her up, and she was amazing. She just charged up to each station, and she only ever twice talked about giving up, but not for long. This is your thing. No, just enjoy it. Enjoy it. It's so nice to be a part of this. Man, you are doing well. Yeah. Really well.
This is the highest up I've been.
So, never been here before, eh?
Never been here before.
Stop trying to get ahead of me, please. Sorry. You got to slow down.
I can see her.
I know, it's good, but slow down.
I was so emotional already by then that I just knew that when I got up there the tears would flow, and I was standing at her feet, the statue of Our Lady, and it was one of the most joyful moments I think I can remember in about 30 years. To me, I think what the surprise was, the closeness I felt to Our Lady. Now, it's only a statue. We know it's not her, and we don't, a lot of people think, Catholics worship statues and that. We don't. They're just a representation for us. It's like a photo we have of our children in our wallet. It's not them, it's a representation of them. And yet, for the first time in my life, I felt like she was standing right there. I could have almost touched her, and I think that was the emotional thing for me, because that's not what I had expected, and that's what I got. At exactly 20 minutes to 7, everything just goes quiet for a few minutes. You just know she's here, you just feel it, and you can almost feel when she's leaving. There's no signs, there's no sound like bells ringing when she's leaving or anything like that. Sometimes she's here for 5 minutes, sometimes she's here for 20 minutes.
I think hundreds of millions of people want to believe in something. I'm not saying they're wrong. I think they all feel that they need this in their life.
When I first arrived here, I was on medication for depression. However, I've been off the medication now 6 days. And I really feel me. I'm back to me.
I've told Mary to help me with my prayer life, to make me a better person from the heart, to reach out, and once I've got myself in order, then help other people. And I'll come back in a year or two's time and tell her what I've done.
I went to the priest and he said, don't look for signs and wonders. He said, just enjoy Medjugorje for what it is. And he said, there will be fruits that will flow off from that. I've really just enjoyed this time. I wish we had another month.
She came more to keep me company and being a very dutiful daughter. She's a lot of fun to have around, so she's good for the group all love her. But I am thrilled to bits because I can see that she's actually loving it. Now, I'm not saying that she's loving any of the religious side of it. She's just loving being here, and she said, I can finally understand why you want to come back here.
The happiness of these people in this moment of their lives it's nice to be a part of that for me. even though I don't share their beliefs at all. I share their joy.
I think Our Lady's been trying for peace and love for all the time she has appeared, and we have to do something about it as far as praying and peace and understanding. There's too much hate.
This debilitating problem, which I had been diagnosed with in 1999, and I did not know until about 6 months later that in actual fact while I was here Our Lady had cured me of it. What happened was I went along for my every second year colonoscopy, and he came out with this strange look on his face and afterwards, and he said, doesn't seem to be there. And Kevin said, just without thinking, he said, well, it's a miracle.
You can all say it's all in the mind and that sort of thing, and it could be, but it's got to be good, even if it's only in the mind.
It's good.
It's got to be good.
But can't it be that you're just in such a good place that you're not focusing on the pain anymore?
Even that's got to be good.
That's good. I'm not saying it's not good. It's good. Yeah. Can't it be that you are so happy to be where you are and you're so relaxed that your pain, you're not focusing on that, you're focusing on other things?
It could very well be that, I would agree, but the point is, I'm still saying it's still got to be good, you know. So.
I'm saying that too. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay. All of it is good to me.
It's just the specialness of the place. I can smell it and feel it, and the whole area. It's different. It's not like home, and I don't want to go home. I would like to stay here. The peace, absolute peace, yeah.